There have been many bad sequels throughout movie history, like Rebel Moon Part 2 or Speed Cruise Control, but it is the latter example we are looking for today, where the first movie actually was great and then the second one, the sequel, flopped. Just is also the case with 300, Rise of an Empire, which may be one of the worst movie sequels ever made in history. Where 300 features a great author voice that reeled you into the story, some cool characters that made you entertained, and a slow motion was used in an effective economical way. The follow-up, basically 300 Part 2, has none of the same things that made the first movie great. Of course, they neither have great fights or good enough tension. If we talk about 300 Rise of an Empire in more detail on why it failed, it is more than most because it is hard to get immersed into the story with the author voice I mentioned. Okay, yes, it may be a bit of a bias, but I think most people will agree that what worked well last time out was the author. He was also a central character in the story that was also very well written. This Artemisia character, if we mention her, played by Eva Green, is also a character I feel is very badly written, and basically she ruins the story. You may all counter this and say, yeah, it is built on a book, blah blah blah, but the case still remains. It is a very unrealistic character that of course has aimbot and is just barely challenged during this movie by Demosthenes or however the hell his name is pronounced. Point is that the character is so OP, it is ridiculous, and Eva Green is this stiff, tough female warrior with no emotions. Of course, it is hard to follow the same story when the characters that were so good in the first movie all became dead, but none of these actors can master what the cast in the first movie did, and that's why I feel the cast is so extremely weak, where there's only one or two characters left from the first movie. Compared to what, for example, Gerard Butler did with his performance in the first movie, Sullivan Stapleton does not even reach his knee in this one. Sure, he is a decent actor, Sullivan, but he is uninspired in the performance, and you feel he thinks he acts in an action movie when it is really a warrior movie about honor. The way he holds his speech, he is just not that invested in the character like Gerard Butler is. If we talk about the slow motion stuff, it is really off the rails when it was used way more economically and in the right moments in the first movie. In this one, however, it is used way too much, and I know Zack Snyder did not direct this movie, but he is one of the writers, so I bet he would have a hand in the play here. Because it seems, as you say with Rebel Moon Part 2, he just wants more and more slow motion, to the point it becomes so stripped of value when it is not utilized in the right moments to create excitement. The fights are neither as intense as in the first movie, where you even during the scenes with the oracles and the gods were entertained in the first one. Basically, what you see here is that people go down here, especially in the fights with Artemisia. That, of course, is ridiculously strong, but they go down in a flash after 1 second, and those fights are not entertaining. Sure, you got a better kill count than in the first movie, but you want to see longer fights, not fights where a few OP characters kill everyone with a little stretch of the sword. That's a surefire way to bore you in a warrior movie. Basically, you lack balance in this movie and you lack the tension that made the first one so great. Basically, they did everything wrong with the sequel, and the reason why it will never be a third movie is because this weak creation where they never could find a good enough cast. Because it just has not the ability to entice you or entertain you. And for me, it is a 4 out of 10 and easily one of the worst movie sequels ever made in history.